Hey guys, this is Ventis, and in today's video I'm drawing my first ever RPG character, meaning a tabletop RPG character. So let's jump right in and let's roll the intro. So yeah, I don't know if you guys can tell, but this is like an old footage I found. Not long ago, it was like for February, a couple of years ago, and like this gentleman here is my first ever TTRPG character, Ambrosia. I think I mentioned him in a couple D&D related videos. But anyway, I'm also making like a character journal for him because I wanted to like sort of translate his stats to D&D stats. I'm not quite done with that, and I need a couple of illustrations, and I guess it's really lucky that I found this one. Maybe I will include it, although I kinda like redesigned his outfit by now. But as you can see, he really just turned out for his first design as like kind of a, I wouldn't say like a basic adventurer type of fellow. And I remember I tried to, draw every equipment he had on him and incorporate that into the design. Otherwise, like he's like this high elf bard character, but in the system he was created in, bards also. Bards were like sort of like this adventuring class, like kind of like ranger with weapons. And so this is why he had like so many like weapons, like bow and arrow, daggers, short sword, and a staff as well. And he also had a horse because he was like this traveling bard, and he had a horse. But like everybody else in the party had like some sort of flying creature. But like later on, I kind of got a flying carpet for him because I was the only one who knew the language the flying carpet obeyed to, so of course now that's mine. So yeah, I don't know, the thing what I noticed right now, because as I said, it's like a 1 or 2 year old footage. Yes, I'm putting these like shadows everywhere, although like it's not really following like the form of a lot of things. Well, maybe like the horse's head is okay, and like a couple parts of my character is okay, but the horse's body is just that's not how shadows fall on like the horse's body. But anyway, it was like, at the time I was kind of okay with it, like whatever. And like now I'm doing the like it's like clouds and like the windy stuff, because he's like in a storm. But again, if like there's a storm, then there aren't that like defined shadows. But anyway, it's fine. Like I did what I could back then. Yeah, like it's not bad. It's okay. Like what else? Yeah, also like what I'm noticing in like my art style is that back then, or like a couple of years ago, I really liked, detailing everything, like clothes, and like look at this one, like there is like a rug under the saddle, which is accurate, at least. I don't know, I didn't ride many horses, but but I guess that is how that goes, or to my knowledge. And like, yeah, like there are just so many like little like buckles and stuff on his thing, and like by the pose you can really tell that, you know, he's walking in a storm, or like horseback riding in a storm. And yeah. So right now I pulled out a reference for like a same colored horse, and yeah, that's great. Like, I wish I did that to like every little thing that I knew I couldn't really draw, because that is really how you improve, I guess. And like, I didn't know how to make this like spotted texture on the horse, so I think I dropping a couple of colors, or just trying to mix my own and so color the horse like that. And also, like, nowadays I use like a kind of like different technique for like making shadows and lights. Like, I make a shadow layer, and like on like the opposite, so where there aren't shadows, I make a light layer, and for like the whole drawing. I don't know if you know what I'm saying, but anyway, I just realized, and like the lights and the shadows are different like colors. Like, for example, if I use like a blue for the shadows and maybe some sort of like orange for the lights, is like really nice. And like, I mix and match the colors usually, but you see what I mean. And like, yeah, now I see some progress, because a couple of years ago apparently I didn't do that. So I checked a little bit of this footage before recording, and I saw that I will like paint over everything to clean up the drawing, and later then I realized that it's just way more easier to like make a clean line art layer, because I don't have to go back then to clean up. But in the past I really didn't do line art layers, only I just did like a clean enough sketch, and that was fine. And yeah, when I see you do this, but so what you could see just then is that I turn off a couple of layers and then turn them back on. That is how I check which layer I'm working on, because I don't like naming my layers still. I just think it's a waste of time, and I don't have my like keyboard when I'm drawing. It's like, well, it's not far away, but like I don't have it right in front of me, and like I just don't care about naming my layers. I just turn them on and off, and that's it. And also what I do differently now is I do all of the shadows in like one layer, and then I obviously, when there's like a texture, then I go over that solid color layer and just render it a little bit under the shadow layer. And now what I see I'm doing is that I'm kind of like adding lights and like some sort of how do you say that, like color variation, like a little bit of rendering and whatever, like separately, like after, like, you know, like on those layers when you just put the solid color on for each stuff. Yeah, but it's nice to see, you know, that this picture has like a little bit of dynamic to it, and the more I'm watching this unfold, the more I like it. Maybe I should do a redraw of this one day or another. One reason, because I kind of want a couple of illustrations for the character journal, and the other is because, yeah, this is nice. If I were to redraw this now, I think I would just put more effort in the background mostly, maybe I will just draw this again and maybe give it a little bit of a different pose, or just make, yeah, because I want a bit of a different illustration. Because oh yeah, what I'm doing here, I used to do this a lot, is that I would make like a normal layer on top and just kind of render everything and outline everything on like a separate layer and just paint over stuff that I didn't like. And that is what I'm doing here with the trees. And this is like tedious work. Like sometimes I like to do it on like more of my like painty drawings, but when you know the rest of it is like this cartoony stuff, or like how should I say this, like sort of like this cartoony stuff, then it's just way more easier to like make a clean line art layer. Also, I saw like this meme or something, I don't know what I should call it, on Twitter about like if you are using the eraser part of your like tablet pen stylus, and like yes, I use it all the time. I really like flipping it. Like also I think it's like really cool when you see in movies that people are like flipping like a coin or a pencil around their fingers, and I kind of practiced during classes when I was bored, and I'm not that great at it, but I really like, you know, just flipping it and erasing and flipping it back, because as I said, I don't have my keyboard right in front of me when I draw, so yeah, it's just way easier than searching for a button or something. But also it has like a little bit of a different feel to it. I have like a really old Wacom tablet, by the way. My first ever tablet served me for like 7 or 8 years without like any issue. And so I bought a different Wacom tablet when I guess with my old tablet the only thing was the sensitivity that wasn't that great. But yeah, it's fine with the new one. And yeah, now I realize that I also drew in the string for the bow. That's a really nice detail. And also I'm just really shitty at drawing like any sort of animal. So this horse is fine by any means, but in general I'm just really bad at drawing animals. Like when I have a reference and I drew like a couple of like a same animal, then I get better at it for a while. But yeah, I think I use a reference for this one, but then I put it away and just try to make my own thing with it. Yeah, obviously I should have checked the shadows. I guess that is the only thing that's bothering me with this picture, the shading for the horse. Oh, and the horse's name is Sassorsep. It means daisy in English. And yeah, she's a female horse because I rolled for it. I now kind of inspired to redraw this one, but like with like, yeah, but like with a different pose and just him like running through the storm or just standing with the horse in the storm, and like a bit of a different and more defined background maybe, and a more interesting foreground, because this is literally just a couple of strands of like grass. Yeah, and the thing is that there are so many like stuff you could draw when in like this like adventure-y foresty like foreground or background. But yeah, what I was saying is that there are just so many like different plants, like wild plants and stuff you could draw. And also what helped me, yeah, I remember there was this illustration when I was looking for like different plants for like an illustration that was like near the water or like next to the water, and I didn't really find a lot, but you could like check our like terrarium builds, because they use like a really nice variety of plants for like kind of like different like terrain types, like next to water or in water plants, and like foresty plants and mosses and ferns and stuff. And also they are like very relaxing. I used to watch this type of videos before going to bed. It's like I was instantly falling asleep. Yeah. Yeah, overall, by the way, throughout the years I gave this character Ambrosia a different like design for like his clothes, because you know he earns some money during adventuring, and like yeah, I think he bought like this like long elegant blue, like it's not called a dress, but you know it's like a long like coat like thing. I think they originally wear stuff like this in like India or Turkey or something, and yeah, maybe I will just check those and see what I can come up with, you know, as like an illustration, you know, as like inspiration. Yeah, I could have rendered those clouds a little better too, but like, I mean, at least it's not like competing for the character in the foreground. Yeah, but this was really nice to see as an inspiration for something to draw in the future, because as I said, I will be doing a couple more illustrations for him, and see when the next character journal is going up, because those are like very popular on the channel. This drawing is coming to an end, to a finish, and so thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.